What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny Gamescast for Monday, July 28th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the taste maker, Roger Picorni.
Got him. God bless him. You know what I mean? We got him.
We're going to get to that. And of course, he's the master of hype, Snowbike Mike.
Good morning, Greg. Happy Monday. It is great to be in your presence and be around you and the team here in the office. I have two big announcements to talk about. And one of them you're going to get to. I have another big announcement that I want to share.
So there's one. Okay, that was two.
Number two is that.
Now give me one. Let's give me 1.2.
No. Okay.
You go first.
Greg, I'm happy that I can share that I will be at the Battlefield 6 reveal event this week. So be looking and stay tuned to your boy Snowbike Mike. Boots on the ground.
Whoa.
Down there for this big event. I'm very excited about it. So
That's
keep an eye
exciting.
out for me on that one. I cannot wait to report back with all of you on the fun. It should be a really good time.
That's awesome.
I'm very excited for you to be down there, for Paris to be down there, and most importantly, Gary not to be there. Because those are always my favorite stories when that happens. But let's dial it back to a little show called Kind of Funny Games Daily. It just happened. Of course, you can check it out, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, podcast services around the globe. In the beginning, they started talking about our Fantasy Critic League, of course, a storied league that I've won a championship in before, no big deal. Kindoffunny.com/KF League 2025. You two jabronis ran out, grabbed the microphone, demanded Blessing authorize a trade that made little to no sense. Blessing?
Yeah, I got unfortunate news for Roger and Mike.
Why? What's wrong?
I checked the league rules. This season, no trading.
We
is
now,
allowed.
no.
trading is allowed this season.
No.
Sorry.
That is a fair trade. That is a fair trade. It is two video games.
It's not a fair trade when trading is not allowed for the season.
No. That was not. Who made that rule? We didn't agree to it. We didn't agree. Why? Everyone watch back the episode and let us know if he talked about it. If he didn't, it's not
I did
allowed.
find it interesting. I tried to propose a trade to Mike the other day for something stupid,
Yeah.
and I couldn't do it. What's up with that?
It's just off. I think it's because of your shenanigans.
No.
Whenever you did
Well, you
we
should step in
It is
if someone
off for the season.
if someone does something
That
illegal
was
like
2
Greg
years
did.
ago. That was not illegal.
We should not allow that. But me and Mike are doing something very legal. I saw his game. I liked his game more.
By definition, it is not legal.
Okay, but then you
Because
said you looked
trading's
at me
not
and you said,
legal.
"Nope, it's legal. We're making this happen." You took your word.
I said approved.
Yeah.
I can't approve something that's not legal.
I think right here we have 4 members of the league, which is the majority. I don't know if that's true or not. And I think we could all vote right now that trades should be enabled, and you should enable the trades and let them trade.
You put it up to the rest
And
of the
I don't think
company.
anybody else has bumped heads where it's like, I was going to trade someone, I couldn't trade, and now I'm pissed off about it.
Yeah, there's no issues here.
Listen, we can convene in maybe we'll make this a team meeting thing. I want a good majority.
We're the majority of the
No, we have.
I'm not just
everybody
gonna
right here.
change the rules because all of a sudden y'all want to do something that's against
Tim,
the rules.
Tim is on board.
I'm reaching out to Fantasy Critic right now. We have a big problem.
We don't have a big problem. It was the rules that were
Where's
set at the
Andy? Can
beginning of the
if I call Andy on the phone right now and he says there's no issues with trades, are you going to allow it?
I want a unanimous yes to change the
Yes.
rule from every single person
Every single person, at the company, or every single person on Fantasy
in the
Critic?
league.
Okay.
Every single person in the league, all 8 of us, have to say yes to this
Every
decision.
single person has to say yes to it.
Yes.
That's not.
Did you just learn what unanimous means?
I don't. That is that. No.
Did we just do some vocab there?
It needs to be majority. It needs to be majority. Not
No
more
one's
than
going to
half.
stand in the way of this with their right mind. Other than the fact you penciled in a Gamescast for next week that says
No.
he penciled in a headline on his own. No one told him to do this. I was updating the doc today. I see this. A Raj Anonymous check-in, which has been there forever.
Yeah, of
Roger,
course.
no
Yeah,
struggles.
yeah. It's a check-in.
Slash.
It's a check-in.
Slash heist of the century.
I want Crimson Desert. There's no issue
So
with that.
again, if you didn't watch Games Daily,
Yeah.
the deal here is that you are trying to unload. Roger is trying to trade away Ninja Gaiden 4 for Crimson Desert from Mike.
Yes.
A game, Crimson Desert, a game I'm not at all faithful in coming out this year.
Yeah. So
I think it's coming out this year. Why not?
what are you trying to pull?
I just want this game, and he wants Ninja Gaiden.
But why do you want Crimson Desert?
Because it looks better.
Game of the century.
I watched the trailer for Ninja Gaiden 4. Didn't like the voice acting. Didn't believe in it. And then I started getting into the nitty gritty. Oh, Team Ninja's just helping out on the development. Ooh, Platinum games aren't what they used to be. I don't
you
want
watch
this.
your mouth about Platinum games. I don't like this Platinum.
That's not where they
games
used to be.
disrespect today.
So I want to give Ninja Gaiden 4 to him, and he wants it. So he's the Xbox guy. He can have it. And I want Crimson Desert. He's like, I don't think that's coming out this year, and I believe
want
it's
a
coming out this year.
unanimous yes from everybody in the league. If you can return to me with a unanimous, you've convinced every single person.
Excluding
to say
you.
yes.
Excluding you.
Here's the thing.
Because
If everybody else says yes, I'll say yes.
Okay.
Because I actually don't mind this trade.
Okay.
I think it's a.
So
I think
then
it's
we
a
have
bad trade
Blessing,
for
we
you.
have Mike. We don't. It's Barrett Andy, Paris on the outside, and Tim. would.
Tim, yeah.
Tim, I assume so. Tim, you're in.
You need a yes from everybody.
All right, great. There you go.
But also Barrett's out this week, and I don't want to call him on him being out. And also, I wanted to get this done by Saturday.
But aren't these always fun shenanigans?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we want this done now.
We want this done now.
Right now.
Tim, are you going to approve this trade, Tim? We need
I'm
a
ready for-
unanimous
I wrote
yes.
Fantasy
And if
Critic.
you are like Roger, unanimous means everyone.
Also, unanimous is not
Do
fair.
you know
but yeah.
somebody who works on Crimson Desert?
No, I would never.
I don't know where the argument stands. I wasn't listening to this, so I don't know who I'm fucking over here.
Tim, you
But I'm
just say yes,
approving
you
the
want-
trade.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. All
happening,
right, so
everybody.
I want two more yes.
No, no.
I want Barrett and I want Paris.
I'm calling
and I want
Andy.
Andy. So we got 3 more yeses.
That means, Mike, you got to call Barrett.
Okay, I'll call it Big B.
I'm calling him. I'm calling at the same time. I'll call Andy.
Call Barrett.
Now they're all
Courtney.
just.
Oh, wait, I don't have Barrett's number.
What the fuck, man? It's an 11-person company. How do you not have his number?
Hello.
Hey, Paris, it's Greg Miller. You're live on the Gamescast. How are you?
Oh my God, I'm sick.
Oh, no. How sick are you? What's
Oh,
wrong?
no.
What's wrong?
I don't know. I've just had a crazy headache. I'm good though. What's going on?
It's a super simple question. We need when we did our fantasy critic, we apparently didn't enable trades. So we need a unanimous yes that we can enable trades so Mike and Roger can do a trade. Are you okay with that?
Yes, I am okay with that.
Thank you very much. Go back to bed, okay?
Thank you. Feel better.
We love you. Bye.
Love you.
But
God, I love Paris.
He's the best. See, and that's how easy it could be.
Yeah.
And he just says yes, and we're on.
Did Andy not answer?
No.
Probably still asleep.
Probably still sleeping.
Is
Not
he at
on
an
the
event?
count for hours.
Where's Andy?
I thought he was coming in for the Kind of Funny podcast.
I can't keep track
Hey,
on-
good morning, Barrett Courtney. This is Mike, Greg, and Roger here on the Kind of Funny Gamescast. How are you on this lovely Monday?
I am doing well, Snowbike Mike Howard. How are you doing?
I'm so good, Barrett, when I hear your voice. Just want you to know that we're thinking about you. Hope you're having a lovely day. I don't want to take up much of your Monday because you know it's a special and my favorite day. But quick one for you. There's a trade that is trying to go down in our Fantasy Critic draft league that we would like all of the team members to support and give their approval on.
He's not even asking the right
no,
question.
you're not-
Not even asking the right question.
Trades are off on the league. And then Blessing said that they were off on the league and he needs every single person to say yes in order to turn back on trades. We have a fair and legal trade. Are you yes on opening up trades?
well, what's the fair and legal trade?
I want Crimson Desert and he wants Ninja Gaiden. That's it.
Boom. Bada bing, bada boom.
no, I don't approve.
279s.
Ah, what a dickhead!
Wow. Why would he not approve?
Why would he not approve?
He's still mad at me about the Donkey Kong.
Again, it's just you only have one person to blame for that, and that's Snowbike Mike.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
on
Mike
me.
fucked
Rather
that
than
one up.
say, "Hey, we need to turn trade ons because we didn't turn them on. Can we get an approval?" Mike's like, "Let's go in the weeds about a fair and legal." Immediately,
Yeah, immediately.
Erwin R. Shyster here, IRS calls. He's freaking, what do you expect?
get him,
What do
we'll
you
get him.
expect?
He'll text back.
He better. He'll probably tune in and try to figure out what the fuck's going on before he does it, which I approve. Andy approved in the chat, apparently.
Okay, so
Andy
yeah,
approved
we're
the
in.
chat.
We're in. That has to
That was a
count.
bit. That was Barry.
Yeah,
doing a
he's
bit,
doing
so
a bit.
yeah.
It's time. It's happening.
He's doing a bit.
He's doing a bit. He loves us.
I think again, maybe you call back Barrett after the show, just not everyone screaming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Clearly, shenanigans are happening. You know, there's things going on. So everybody keep your cool, because this is the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Each and every weekday, we come together to talk about the biggest topics in video games, whether they be reviews, previews, or just things we need to talk about. If you want to talk with us, of course, you could super chat live on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, where Jesus Christ. You can super chat, ask your question, be part of the show, do all that different stuff. Of course, if you like what we do here, pick up a Kind of Funny membership over on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, patreon.com/kindafunny, Apple or Spotify. You can kick us $10 and get every one of our shows ad-free for the entire month, along with your daily dose of me, Greg Miller, in a series I call Greg Way, where I give you 15 to 20 minutes of podcasting each and every day. That's more than 80 episodes ad-free. That's more than 4 hours of exclusive podcasting each and every month. However, no bucks tossed away, no big deal. Like, subscribe, share, ring the bell. Remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, and that means you have a free 30-day subscription you need to give away. Housekeeping for you. Remember, we're an 11-person small business all about live talk shows. Kind of Funny Games Daily covered the new God of War Amazon show details. After this, it's the Kind of Funny podcast with Tim, Andy, Nick, and Bless. The stream is Ask Mike Anything while he plays a Suika game. Or Suika game? Suika game.
Yeah.
Plays Suika game.
I'm going to bare my soul today. Ask me anything you'd like. I also have a pretty good kind of funny podcast topic, but we'll save that for another one.
We'll get you on there.
I had a weekend where I was like, man, we got to talk about this. I got to ask the people.
Ooh, now I want to know real
You know
bad.
what I mean?
No,
There's
I like
something
that.
deep
Yeah,
inside
sit on
me.
it,
I
sit
gotta
on it,
ask
sit on
you,
it, sit
you
on it. If you're a Kind of Funny member, today's Greg Way is 18 minutes of me talking about getting my ass beat in Pokemon Violet. It makes sense when you listen. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs and Omega Buster, and Delaney, the Psalm Twining. Today, we're brought to you by Mood Factor and the Kind of Funny survey. We'll talk about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be topic of the show. Tots. So now Barrett's in chat. Did they win him over?
No, he's standing firm. He's saying no.
Barrett, I don't agree with this, all right?
Bear, we want trades to be legal in
Yeah.
the league.
All-
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
It was
and
an
also,
oversight that we didn't turn on trades. And then it's Greg's shenanigans with the Gary Whitta trade,
There's no
which was
shenanigans.
completely legal and was 2 years ago. We had
years
trades
ago.
last year. Nobody cried.
yeah,
Again,
exactly.
it was the deal. You couldn't do anything outside of
And
the,
again, these are two legal games here. It's not like there's any shenanigans here.
Two legal.
I
It's
just
not
want
like it's building up to something titled the
Very
heist of the
legal.
century.
no. That was that's just about Crimson Desert. I love that game.
Roger
care
believes
about
in
it.
that
Well,
game.
I'm interested to know if both of you believe in Cronos, the new dawn. Of course, you went and saw a preview for this here in the
Played
Bay
it.
Area. You played it yourself. The Steam description reads, Cronos, the new dawn is a pulse-pounding third-person survival horror game where time is your deadliest weapon and your worst enemy. Survive a brutal future, dive back in time, and stop nightmarish creatures from merging into unstoppable abominations. Of course, this is Bloober Team developing and publishing is what I saw on Steam. I found that interesting. You know them from Silent Hill 2 most recently. Before then, of course, Layers of Fear, The Medium, which was better than that year's Resident Evil. Gentlemen,
Hi.
I want to know from the rip, what were your expectations going in, and did this meet, exceed, or fall short, Roger?
Yeah, going into it, I've been talking about this a lot on Kind of Funny Games Daily, and just anytime Bloober comes up, is that this is the one that is really going to set them apart, right? They had an amazing hit with Silent Hill 2 Remake. That's a game that, of course, and the original one was incredible, so the fact that they knocked it out of the park with the remake is great, but I want to see them do something original. I want to see where they can go as a team, and if they are the future of horror games, which I want them to be.
Sure.
So I was super high hopes. I wanted this to be really great, and I was whelmed, I would
Okay.
say. I liked it. I think the biggest issue here is that it is the first hour, 2 hours of the game, and it just I need to see more. I need to see either what happens past this cutscene, because they kind of leave on a little bit of a cliffhanger.
Okay.
I need to see more of the story. I need to see more of the world. But what they have set up here is going to be the game. I don't know when this game comes out. They have not released a
Yeah,
release date.
I was shocked by
Me
that
too.
as well when I looked at it. I thought for sure, we're doing this preview. They must have. No,
There's no release date anywhere, but this is definitely going to be the game whenever it comes out in October, November, whatever. The spooky horror time season that I'm going to pick up and I'm going to play through, and it's going to scratch that itch of a Resident Evil game that isn't coming out this year.
Okay.
Is it going to be an 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10? I don't know. Right now, I'm at it feels like a 7, like a 7.5, a good experience. But there is possibility for it to level up and get to that great side of stuff. It just needs to. I need to see more of it. I need to see more of the ways that they expand on the puzzles. And
Before we
specific
dive in
enemies.
all that, so Mike, your expectation going in and what you thought on the other side.
Yeah, my expectations, Greg, were pretty baseline, just medium level. You know, we came off of the medium, and I didn't love the medium at the end of it all. I really adored Silent Hill 2 with the remake and what they were able to do with that. And so now I was looking at a team, like Roger says, that has an opportunity here to create their own story, have their own stuff going on. And I left saying, I like that, but not going, oh man, I can't wait to play
Interesting.
this,
Okay,
right?
okay.
And so the catch was similar to what I echo everything Roger says. There's a great foundation of a survival horror game in this game right here, right? Everything that you would expect out of a Resident Evil, what we just came off of with Silent Hill 2, there is that just nice survival horror game that you know and love, that you've played many of times before. It's right here with this. The catch is the story for the first 2 hours didn't have me going, oh man, Roger, I can't wait to get back and spend another 8 to 20 hours in this to figure out what the story is. It was like, oh, okay, like let's see where this goes. But I had a good time. I had some heart-pounding action. I had some thrills. I had some moments going, man, I've done this a lot in video games. It's not really breaking the mold any way, shape, or form. And so I left this having my expectations met a little bit higher than where I set them, Greg. This is above the medium. Of course, Silent Hill 2 is tough because it's like, hey, that's an already established IP. That's a story that has already been created. You're just coming in on. But the foundation of the gameplay, the moment to moment, I had a good time with. But I don't know if this story will land for me or not.
Okay, then Roger, start walking us through what did you actually do and play in this game. Of course, they made a splash with that original trailer we saw there of the submarine man playing chess. They put out gameplay since then. You have B-roll to show. I'm interested to know what you're actually doing moment to moment, especially if it feels a little bit like you all sounded like it's well-worn territory.
Yeah, it very much you start off as this traveler. The Traveler is the name of your character, and you are sent to Poland after a cataclysmic event. You don't really know what happened, but you see monsters and some weird stuff going on. You can kind of put two and two together, and you are there to basically pick up where another traveler has left off. So you're trying to find the body of a traveler and figure out where they're going, and eventually we didn't even get to any of this, so I think that's kind of the reason why we're not so high on the story, because if you read the Steam description, it says your mission is to locate key people from the past who perished in the ensuing apocalypse. So we don't do any of that. We're like up to that point.
Right up to it. This is the moment.
This is the moment, and then the demo stopped for us. So it was a lot of it's exactly what you expect from a Resident Evil type game.
And a quick aside, I'm sorry, how long did you play?
2 hours. Yeah,
It was 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. I mean, for me, I was gaming, Greg. You know what I mean? Hour and a half, easy. I'm looking around. I'm eating the Twinkies. I'm like, why
Roger's eating Twinkies while I'm sweating bullets. People are watching me die. Yeah, it was a good time.
So yeah, you're going around, and
is there a reference to what Twinkies not a usual press event?
They just had Twinkies.
Food.
They had a lot of
and
Twinkies.
They had Capri Suns.
They're like, these people are children.
Yeah, for real. They were like, you take an entire box of Capri Suns, and Mike walks out there, didn't take it, and then he's like, should have taken it.
I had about 4 in my pocket though.
So yeah, you walk around, you are reading all the clues, and you're reading all the diaries from the people, and kind of putting together the pieces of what happened in this apocalypse, and you are finding different things to open up doors and solving puzzles, and specifically, you are fighting enemies with a very, very limited amount of bullets and ammo.
See, that's one of the things I wanted to ask about, because watching this right now, and if you're an audio listener, we're, third person, behind the shoulder, a little bit pulled back from that when we zoomed in there. Yeah. But it is, our moon man walking around with a very large pistol, which to me gives off the vibe, sure, of a Resident Evil as you look at keys and pick things up. But before we can get into action, it's looking to me like it's going to pop off in a second. It's going to be
It's shooter heavy. Like, this is not, you're not dodging. There's no dodge in this. No. There's a stomp that will allow you to kind of push enemies away.
Does it feel like Dead Space at all, or no?
There's no dismemberment.
Okay.
And the shooting is very heavily based off of a charged mechanic. So you are really encouraged to hold down that shoot button, aim, and get the best effect. If you shoot and you're just kind of lighting off shots like in a Dead Space, it won't work like you're thinking. But it's very shooter heavy. There is no, you can punch things, but that's really going to be a throwaway, and that's a last moment idea. So you will be basing a lot of your gameplay off of a ranged arsenal with your pistol into a shotgun. There will probably be more. There's also a flamethrower, but instead of like aiming your flamethrower up and spraying and praying, it just kind of punches down, creates a flame circle around you. And so that's kind of used for when you take down enemies. The big tagline in this is, don't let them merge. And so when you see these aliens
that's a cool tagline. I don't know what it
means.
I like that.
And when it happens, it's very exciting. So, of course, when you kill one of these enemies, they lay down, and you have a couple options here. You can keep it moving. You can burn the body, because the goal here is for the enemies is they're going to come and find one of their deceased friends, and they're going to merge with them to become stronger. So we'll just call it like your basic grunt can then morph into a soldier, into a captain, getting stronger on different tier levels. And so your goal, as all these enemies are coming at you, is to be mindful of, hey, have I killed X, Y, and Z? Should I burn these bodies so that guy way over there can't merge with them? And you'll see it. They become this crazy snake-like creature that you've seen in Resident Evils before, and they start walking towards the body to merge and become stronger. And so your goal is to try to identify that, burn the bodies, and or be prepared for a real big fight.
Yeah, and going off of the merging aspect, something that they told us, but I think Mike actually saw it because he had the biggest
nail
merge.
biter,
Yeah,
yeah.
he saw the biggest merge that you could possibly have. Basically, what happens is if an enemy merges with another enemy, they take on that enemy's class.
Okay.
So if you have a melee enemy and then they fuse with a hunter, they will have now also have a ranged attack. So and then you can also they can merge
That's
twice.
cool.
They
That's
can
cool.
yeah they can merge again. So then you can have like, oh shit, now they're even more strong, and then they're also bigger. And Mike had like the top of the line, like the
Yeah.
strongest enemy you can possibly have because he wasn't burning enough bodies.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Mike cutting
I
corners.
wish
I know.
I could do that, but yeah, it's one of those. It's a fun chess game here, and similar to Resident Evils, you kind of have that, but not like this, where you really are looking at your arena that you're having the challenge in. You're kind of picking your spots of who should I take out first? How am I going to do this? And then also, once you get caught up in the noise of it all, I didn't see this guy was merging over here because I was fighting three enemies
Okay,
over
that
there.
sounds cool.
And so it's like, and I look up, and this guy is now transformed into something bigger and badder than I've ever seen. And we're going to get into it because Roger has a great point of the ammo and having such a limitation on it really plays into the factor of like, you better be hitting your shots and you better be
Hitting them.
prepared to run in circles because the two biggest fights, we had one boss fight and then this challenge room that I encountered where he morphed to level 3 is like, you're just playing Ring Around the Rosie with these guys in circles around a pillar, hoping that you can either find more ammo,
Yep.
craft ammo on the fly,
Jesus, look at
or
this thing.
you better be prepared to punch him twice and run for your life because the punches don't do enough and they're super strong. And so the developers watched me battle for my life 2 separate occasions. here.
How does leveling work? Is your punches aren't strong and your bullets aren't doing it? Am I upgrading my guns? Am I upgrading the character?
Yeah, you get a lot of that was mostly the thing I was getting was these little gears that you can go down to your safe places and you can upgrade your suit, you can upgrade your ammo, you can upgrade your weapons, and make you stronger that
Punches
way.
never upgraded.
Yeah,
though.
punches do not
okay,
upgrade.
okay.
It's mostly your weapons and your suit and making sure that you have more health. So that was the most of the stuff that I was looting because it is as we mentioned before, like this game is very tough when it comes to the amount of ammo you are given. It is not, from what I can tell, dynamic at all. Some
Okay.
like Resident Evil games that if you don't have too much shotgun ammo, they start giving you shotgun ammo. If you have not too much health, they start giving you health. It does not do that because I was
Old school.
dying a lot and I was one hit away from dying and I had no ammo and I'm just getting a bunch of coins or
So
whatever.
I know it's only been 2 hours.
Yeah.
My question immediately there becomes, was that frustrating or thrilling? I feel like that's a fine line. Survival horror.
It is a fine line, and like, yeah, I don't
It's
want.
frustrating.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
because then I'm running in circles looking for this, and there's nothing, and then you have to make the judgment call of like, well, now I got to punch this guy, and I'm fighting the final boss that we encountered, and I'm punching him to death when it should have been like, hey, you have to drop 2 bullets for me right now, or like help me out with anything because I'm punching someone where the damage on the punch is so small that it's really, I'm going to be here for 20 minutes.
yeah, I go back and forth on it, right? Because I think it is frustrating for me, but then also maybe it's like the toxic gamer in me where I'm like, I just gotta get good. Like it's something's
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
Someone's
yeah,
wrong with
yeah.
me. Like it's not the game. But I saw it in the preview. I'm not gonna call it names, but like people that were in the preview like literally couldn't finish the demo. Like they were having trouble with it, and they were like looking at the devs, being like, "Hey, man, like I don't have any ammo. I don't know what to do here." Like
Yeah.
that was something in the
They
beginning.
drag out their cigarette. Get good, chug.
But in the beginning of when they were giving us the pitch, they were like, "Hey, like we didn't realize kind of how hard this was," or they kind of knew, but they were like, "Hey, like here's a lot of tips for you guys because this is going to be difficult for y'all." For me personally, I wasn't too annoyed with it. It wasn't like something that I was like, "Oh man, I need them to have some type of dynamic scaling for it," because I did have
There's that
enough.
stomp. That's
There's enough
fucking
of some.
dead space.
I had
right there.
enough of the bullets where I was able to, even if I missed 1 or 2, I would still be able to carry over. But yeah, it was tight, and that's when we go back to the whole merging aspect of it. I didn't necessarily love it because of that not having the dynamic ammo. I think that was the part of the dynamic ammo that it didn't really work for me because you don't really have much of that fire flamethrower that you got going on there.
Silly question, I imagine, but since burning the bodies is such a big part of this, I'm assuming I have to get gas right as well to do that. So that's just not something I can do.
No, yeah. So you get it at every safe house, and you can
craft it as well.
Yeah, you can craft it as well, and you get unlimited at your safe house. Like, so you get you can max out your equipment, but you have to keep on going back to that safe house to like refill.
okay.
So there were moments where I walk outside of my safe house, I see an enemy, I burn them, and I run right back, and then I get
So
more,
right,
and then I
yeah,
go back
yeah.
down. So which is just a weird flow for a video game, right? Of like, you want to be able to continue to progress, and I just felt the need to have that fire. I know you don't necessarily need it, but why I just kept on going back to get more fire, because you do really need it when you think about it.
Well, when it was early on for us, and we didn't have the full upgrade yet of like, you only can hold one fire canister at a time, and then you'll upgrade to hold 2 and more, right? And so there's this gameplay balance, like Roger said, of when I walked out of the safe room, I get a free fire blaster, which is great, but then I see a door that needs to be lit on fire, and I'm like, all right, well, got to do that. I definitely should run back and go refill right now. Yeah. And so I appreciated that it was always constantly refilling, but having one is tough when it comes to destroying enemies and burning all the bodies, because you have to be very mindful of what you're doing. And so that's where my 4D chess brain came out, right? I'm in this hallway, and I see one door that needs to be burned down, but I have an enemy coming at me. So what did I do, Greg? I stood next to the door, let him come to me. Fire punch, burn both at the same time. That's a 2 for 1.
That's a pro gamer move right there.
Yeah, it's interesting because they clearly know in the design of this game that you're not going to have much fire, so they intentionally hide, quote unquote, a bunch of fire canisters to blow up, like the red propane stuff. So in the final boss of this preview, there's just a bunch scattered around, which it's cool because, like, I mean, that's the way that I destroyed them. I don't know if you fucked up, if that's what happened, but maybe that's what you're laughing. But I was like basically making the guy follow me around and shooting the thing, but it kind of felt like, I don't know, not antithetical to like what the idea.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I did all that. It's so funny of like
back to that's what I think of as old school survival horror of like, all right, cool, I'm undermatched. I don't have ammo. I'm going to trick them, find the thing, do whatever, get a cheap shot, punch in, go.
Yeah. It's so funny when you start the first 45 minutes, there's no fire canisters whatsoever. And then there's a moment where they're like, let's introduce one. And now there's 4 of them. And you're like, all right, well, clearly I have to use these. And then you get to the boss fight and there's 7 of them in a 2-bedroom apartment. You're like, all right, clearly I know what I'm doing, right? And so like, yeah, those are going to be there for you. That's just part of the chess game that is, right? Like, you got to be mindful of your surroundings. It was fun being in a large open area, seeing 4 canisters, seeing 3 different waves come at you and going, all right, I'll use the left one. Now I'm going to use the right one. I'm going to use the forward one, and we'll go from there. So, yeah, it's all things that you've kind of seen and done before is the issue on that.
Yeah, for sure. I did enjoy when it had the moments of like figuring out the fire mechanic and popping off a few enemies and then being like, okay, I have like 3 enemies around here, and then baiting them over and then shooting an enemy and then burning them all together. There were some moments like that, but it just, I guess it never fully clicked with me this, and maybe 10 hours into the game it's gonna fully have that moment when I'm like super kitted out and I'm able to burn all the bodies and I see 4D chess, but it's like I never really had that full moment that you had with the 4D chess. So I just kind of came back being like, yeah, I could have taken it or left it with the merging idea of it.
Interesting. Is this where your demo ended, or is this just...
No, this is the beginning of the demo. Yeah, that's where they start off. So if we talk about like the whole setting of the game, it takes place in...
And I want to hear all about that right after I remind you that this setting wouldn't exist without your support. Of course, you can pick up a Kinda Funny membership on patreon.com/kindafunny, youtube.com/kindafunnygames, Apple or Spotify to get all of our shows ad-free. I feel like since last week, I've been just 95%, maybe even more on, but there's that little thing where the word pulls wrong. Maybe you're
Welcome
seeing
to my life.
My descent into madness. Anyways, to get all the shows ad-free, to get your daily dose of me and Greg Way, and et cetera, et cetera. But right now, you're not using your Kinda Funny membership benefits. So here's a word from our sponsors.
This episode's brought to you by Mood. Let me tell you about the online cannabis company that's revolutionizing how we deal with life's challenges. From sleepless nights to stress-filled days, Mood.com has created an entire line of functional gummies that target specific health concerns with 100% federally legal THC blends. They'll deliver them discreetly right to your doorstep, and you can get 20% off your first order at Mood.com with promo code KINDAFUNNY. I've been having a great time trying out their different gummies, and I'm loving how each one feels. And each one is crafted using federally legal cannabis grown on small, family-owned American farms. No pesticides, no BS, and they can ship to most states in the U.S. Best of all, not only does Mood stand behind everything with an industry-leading 100-day satisfaction guarantee, but as I mentioned, listeners get 20% off their first order with code KINDAFUNNY. So head to Mood.com, browse their amazing selection of functional gummies, and find the perfect gummy for whatever you are dealing with. And remember to use promo code KINDAFUNNY at checkout to save 20% on your first order. That's mood.com, MOOD.com, promo code Kinda Funny. This episode's brought to you by Factor. Summer is here, baby. That means more sun, more light, but it should not mean more hours inside cooking. That's where Factor comes in. Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. Multiple people here at Kinda Funny have been loving their experience with Factor, and you can too. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle over summer and beyond. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals. Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Factor powers your day, sun up to sundown. With nutritious breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts, Factor has your whole day covered. Enjoy more this summer. Get Factor if you want all the flavor and none of the fuss. Get started at factormeals.com/kindafunny50 off and use code kindafunny50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code kindafunny50 off at factormeals.com/kindafunny50 off for 50% off plus free shipping.
We need you. It's been a few years since we've done a big ol' audience survey to determine who watches our stuff, where you watch it, and what sorts of products you're open to seeing in terms of sponsors. We've boiled this down to a handful of simple questions that shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes to complete. Oh, and all of your answers will be completely anonymous, and we want you to be as honest as possible. Head over to kindafunny.com/survey to participate. Thanks.
And we're back. So as we were saying, I know it's post-apocalyptic.
Yes.
I know we're time traveling, but what is the setting that you're going through and what's happening here?
Yeah, they talked a lot about that in the little press briefing that they did for us. Of course, they're a Polish team, and this takes place in 1980s Poland after or during the height of the Soviet takeover of Poland.
Do you know what year in the 80s?
No, just in 1980s. I don't know if it's specifically, but...
So you don't know if anybody's referencing, like, there's a new movie coming out called Ghostbusters, or I saw that new movie,
I didn't
Ghostbusters.
see it. Yeah,
Okay.
did that come out in
84?
Yeah, did it come out in Russia during that time? Or?
I'm sure it did. I mean, it was a worldwide phenomenon.
Okay.
The logo was more popular than the Coke logo at one point, all right?
So it takes place during that time period. So it's interesting because you are running. It's like very much almost a quarantine story when you're reading all of these different writings and diary entries from everybody. There was one that actually got me, and I thought it was pretty solid. I mean, it might turn off a lot of people because it is very COVID-like in a lot of ways, but it's like this child, and they're writing about how they're very excited because everyone got sent home early, and it's like they're like, oh man,
2 weeks,
yeah, exactly, this is gonna be great. It's like, oh, I've been there, I remember that,
Yeah.
and then it slowly devolves into them being like, dad's acting weird, and then mom's just hasn't come home, and dad's screaming for me, and it's like it gets really dark and
I like
twisted,
that.
and I was into everything
And
that
this is
they
just journals?
yeah,
you're finding?
journals, and they have little voice notes from certain people. So, that's how you're exploring the world mostly. You're trying to figure out and find what caused this whole situation. And it's all of these monsters are presumably blind, is kind of what you pick up from. This ailment that is caused in Poland is kind of turning everyone blind and kind of freaky. So we're at the very beginning of it, but it was interesting to me. It was interesting to me for sure.
Blind in the 80s, you couldn't see Ghostbusters.
I can hear it though, and that's important.
I liked a lot of the notes, Roger. It definitely was giving COVID vibes of everybody
Sure.
being locked in and trying to wonder what was happening with their friends. Another great story was one of their friends made it out of town, and they just wondering what happened to them. Are they better
Sure.
now? Oh, we're stuck here. I should have left with them. That was pretty good stuff.
Yeah,
right there.
I saw one that talking about like this history, this alternate history type deal. I liked that in this universe that there was someone writing about how they heard a bunch of trucks going down, and they were like, oh, like did Russia actually allow the Red Cross to help for once? And I was like, oh, that's interesting in this universe that like they don't want any external help. It is just Russia, and they do not allow anybody else to come in and help out these people. So little tidbits like that I like. I thought it was interesting.
And then there's some time traveling vibes here, Roger. Right? Like
Vibes of time travel.
There's some very
Themes.
interesting, because we didn't get to see it, right? That was like this weird moment of like, oh, you got to go find these lost souls and go help them. And then when you get to them, all of a sudden you're going to have a time travel situation. Like we saw just a tease of that where we started changing the room back in time, and it wasn't the futuristic post-apocalyptic vibe. And it was like, okay, but then we cut right as that started. So I couldn't pick up what that was going to take me. Are they telling a story and am I walking actively through that? Is this just cutscenes where we're going to see these kind of stories play out because we're hunting someone in the past that we're looking for now in the future, or maybe just where they died so we can collect certain things, but we didn't get much storytelling from that.
Yeah, and we didn't get much story from the Traveler herself. The character that we're playing as, she's very flat, almost like Terminator vibes is what you're getting off of it, but they kind of assured us.
Did you even see her?
No,
or is
you
it
don't.
just-
They
okay,
assured
okay.
us, they're like, hey, like, we're not going to spoil anything, but like, this character does evolve. Like, this is just the beginning of this character. So again, it was not weird that they showed us the first 2 hours, because I do think it is impressive, and especially when in a graphical sense, and it shows what the game could be. But I did kind of wish that there was a little bit more of a skip forward of like, hey, let's kind of get the vibe of what the overall picture is here.
She's got a handler. Maybe the handler's bad. Maybe it's evil.
Yeah.
We don't quite know.
Just getting the
Somebody's-
VO of like, go do this, go do
Yeah,
that.
somebody's getting fed the lines, and we're following that. We're looking for the predecessor, the first, traveler that came out, and we're trying to track them down, where they failed, and how we can learn from them and move forward. So he's giving you notes every time you find their dead bodies of like, got to kill them with fire. Okay, cool. Add the fire thing on that one. Hey, you got to have a shotgun. Here's a shotgun.
Is the vibe that all these travelers are different, and do we think the hook is going to be they're all her, like they're all versions of her through time or something like that?
Yeah, maybe.
I didn't think of that. That's what
We don't crack this
Didn't
guy's
get that kind
skull
of
open,
vibe.
right?
No, we don't
Do
do
we
any of
know?
that.
I mean, she probably has a different number on her, I imagine.
Yeah.
but
yes.
Interesting.
Interesting.
And a good comment from the chat always cracks me up when you said it. All Up said, "That's a girl in there," and then a different chat from All Ups. Hell yes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then with the time traveling, you also have some puzzles going on, right? This
Yeah.
is your
So I'm sorry. Before we get to the puzzle, I want to hear about that. I am a sucker for time travel. So is the idea that when you start the game, you're in the future in like a war room, and it's like, oh, we got to go back and do
No, it starts off,
you
you're
come
just
down this badass spaceship ball crashing into this earth.
Yeah,
It's
and then they
awesome.
start asking you like weird, freaky deaky, like mind questions, like to kind of like calibrate you, where it's
Okay.
just like,
It's like
it-
Master Chief.
yeah,
Left, right,
almost,
up,
yeah.
down,
But it starts
here you
asking
go.
you questions like I forget what the name of it. It's like, what's your main objective? And it's like, I'm here for the father, or you could choose the mother, and it like starts
Okay,
asking you like almost
okay.
like Rorschach test type stuff.
Got it,
Which I thought was like kind of. I hope that this is more psychological than it is sci-fi, because I'm more of like I like the psychological horror
Yeah.
and that type of stuff, especially with Silent Hill 2. I loved what they ended up doing with that game, so I hope it's more of like, hey, we're just kind of getting freaky deaky with the mind instead of space.
Yeah, the time travel, Greg, I think is really going to come down to the lost souls that you're looking for, and then traveling back to whatever time period they were and whatever big moment they had that will reveal more of the story.
And
that
you
we're
didn't get
looking
any of
for.
that.
We're on the hunt for someone that has information. He ran off somewhere. Our goal was to find out where he possibly died or his last spot was. We get there, they cut it off right then and there.
Okay.
And so you'll see this kind of, if you're watching on YouTube, there's a orb, we'll call it the time traveling orb puzzle mechanic, where you can latch onto it and go forward or backwards, which is going to move puzzle pieces to have new bridges form or tear down the bridges so you can walk past them. And so we were just getting a little taste of that at the end of it all of, hey, latch onto that orb. Now you can go up with the platform. You can go down. It was things you've seen before, but adding a little extra spice of, instead of, hey, just go find the bolt cutters, bolt cut that. Hey, instead of just flamethrower in the doorway, here's something for you. It wasn't much, but it was just a little bit additive to it.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at, where it's like it was super whatever. Like, it's none of these puzzles were blowing my mind. A lot of it was, okay, you got to get the right angle. You see the thing, you press it up. It moved the bridge up, but then that moved the other bridge down. So you got to go walk over the bridge and then undo it and then hook it again at the right place. So none of it like made me be like, oh man, I got to really lock in and figure this out. But I do see a world where that could get really good. Like that could get really interesting if you start adding and stacking on elements to it. But again, the first 2 hours of the game, it was pretty basic, kind of tutorial-esque.
Okay. It's interesting. I don't know what expectations I had for it. I did not expect Silent Hill 2. You know what I mean? In the chat, I've been pulling stuff as we go. Gene Jackets chatted and said, I'm not that sold, and I'm paraphrasing a bit, but it was like, Silent Hill 2 proved they could follow a formula. I don't know what they could do on their own. The joke around here is me when I'm always, the medium comes up, I bag on Resident Evil
8.
Village, yeah, was that from that year or whatever? And people are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you think that Resident Evil is so good. You think that medium's?" I'm like, "Well, no, remember, I didn't think Resident Evil was that good. So me saying that medium is better isn't. I'm saying it's a 6.5 to the 6 that was. So it's like, I liked Layers of Fear for what it was back in the day. That we did stuff with them, and I played them both when it was time for them to come around. But I've always thought of Bloober in that. Hey, we're making a lot of games, and they're horror games that are already hard to do. So they're never going to be 10 out of 10. They're going to be this thing you get and have fun. Everything I've watched, everything you've said, with the exception of struggling with the boss, has been like, oh man, I really could go for this game. Like I could really get into this. Like I'm interested enough to jump in, play, and see what happens with that time travel stuff and where we go and how interesting the puzzle. I don't, the puzzles in general. Do I care if they're interesting or not? I don't know. I'm more like, what is going on and what happens when you pull somebody out of time? The time stuff gets me.
Oh, interesting.
And then a good stomp like Dead Space.
Good stomp. It's a good stomp.
Shoot that right there. Yeah, you know what to do.
Yeah, I'm just such a sucker for specifically the way that puzzles are made in Resident Evil games. I love getting a 3D object and turning it around and being like, oh, there's a little button on the bottom. I'm such a sucker for that. So that not being here, of course, is a different game, different franchise. It's not a negative towards it, but that's the type of puzzle that I'm looking for. And I like, going back and trying to double back and find the bolt cutters. And they have that here. So that is scratching that itch a little bit, but I'm looking forward to it expand. I'm excited to kind of continue playing with it.
A question Mellow Fellow had in the chat going by was we were not complaining, but talking about difficulty, people being unable to finish it, et cetera, et cetera. Are there difficulty options, or is this strictly like straight up, this is what it is?
Ooh,
I know it's harder with the demo too. Sometimes demos
didn't see anything. Yeah, we were already in the game once we sat down, so did not ask or look into that one.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're gamers.
Of course. My next question would be then, as we've been watching here, the B-roll you've put up, and again, 2 hours in, I understand.
Yeah.
It's just this gun.
Yeah.
Are there other guns? So I go, no.
Gun morphs like a control gun.
Got it.
Think of it like that. Yeah.
Like
so when you grab the shotgun attachment, of course, this is all happening on your D-pad as well. Left, right, up, down. You can quickly switch to whatever you like.
Dang.
You can even quick craft as well, which I really liked and enjoyed. You can quick use all the items that you have, from health kits to shields, all that jazz that you have. So it's got a lot going on.
Yeah, so I enjoy that. I also enjoyed going back to the enemies and talking about the way that they interacted. They really do stalk you, which I thought was interesting. So they had this one moment where you have to go to a hardware store. I go, and I'm on the way, I'm just fucked. I have like 2 bullets. I have 5 enemies on my ass. I have no fire, and I'm like, the only way I'm going to finish this demo is if I just run past all of them and get to the hardware store and hope against all hope that there is some ammo in there. I walk in there. There's a little bit of ammo, and there's a boss.
A lot of enemies.
Yeah, and there's a boss. Yeah. So I kill that boss. I close the door behind me. I kill that one boss. I finally do it after like dying twice, and then I'm like, awesome. And then I open up the door, and I'm trying to open up the door to the outside of the hardware store, and the enemies that were they followed me, and they wrapped around, and I couldn't open the door because they're all clipping inside of it, and it didn't look like a glitch or anything, but like they were like, I literally couldn't open the door. I had to start killing them through the door. I thought that was neat, that they just don't forget you too fast. They're actually stalking you, and they're finding you, and they're gonna follow your ass.
For the deaths, how is the checkpoint system? Am I loading right away or loading right there?
I never died.
Did you really?
Yeah, never died.
Really?
So whenever he was watching,
damn.
you were sweating. You were just trying to.
The dev behind me was stunned that I was able to pull off 2 of the things, because I fought the tier 3 monster with just my fists. There was 2 minutes. I had no ammo. We were playing Ring Around the Rosie. I'd punch him twice. I'd run over there, and the kid's shaking his head, going, "This doesn't seem right." And he said, "I've never seen anyone do that. Good for you." And so, I thankfully never died. So I
gave you a medal,
you.
Put it around your neck. It said Ultimate Gamer.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's a lot of save points. There's a lot of safe rooms. So I'm sure it's very similar to Resident Evil, where you're probably getting put back to that.
And you get put back to some predetermined checkpoints in areas that are not safe points. But yeah, I got pretty fucked where I think it's around here actually, where I get past this area and I'm like 1 hit away from dying. I have 4 bullets left, and you need 3 bullets to kill a guy. So I'm like, I have to be precision accurate, and I'm coming down the stairs, and then I just kept on dying, and then I found a shortcut and I got around it. But I was stuck in hell for a little bit for sure.
It's thrilling to have an enemy coming right at you, and you line up the pistol shot and you hit the charge, but then it starts to sway, and you zing one right past its shoulder, and you're like, no, I needed that.
Yeah,
it's a good time.
My other question would be, from what I've been seeing here as you're marching through hallways and doing this stuff, linear, Is it open? Did you find you could get turned around? Are you looking at your map a lot? Like, what are we doing in terms of environmental exploration here?
Very linear for our first 2 hours. There was definitely some moments where it's like, hey, you could spread out and go explore over there. Maybe you'll get a note that will unlock a door for you to go into a supply room. Maybe you'll get a new, an extra item or something, or an upgrade token there. But it wasn't a giant open world where I'm constantly clicking map.
Yeah.
It is very much like you're on the track, you're going to follow it. Hey, if you want to go off the track, you're going to go 20, 50 steps that way, dead end, you're going to come back. And so we got to the point where maybe you could be backtracking, because once you unlock the flamethrower and the bolt cutters, there are some things at the beginning that we could have done, but we didn't have it yet. So you might be backtracking a little bit around here.
Yeah, and I backtracked a little bit with the bolt cutters, and I found some secrets and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a linear experience. You're just going forward, and it'll kind of adjust for that.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. I appreciate the expectations being set, but I look at this, I'm like, I'd fuck with this. I wonder if when I get behind, if I get on sticks, it will be, well, this is all tried and true. I guess that's a great closing question as we start to wind down here. Like, Mike, from your demo, are you excited enough to play it when we get review code, or are you going to be like, I'll skip this one?
Yeah, from the demo right now, I am excited to play it because of the thrill and the challenge of the gameplay. This is something that is tried and true. If you're looking for a survival horror game like a Resident Evil or Silent Hill 2 remake, this has all the makings of that. This is something you've already played before. You've gone to point A to point B, get the little puzzle piece, go to the next spot. This isn't reinventing the wheel, but it did have some nice, fun, challenging moments with the ranged gunplay that I enjoyed, that gave me the thrill. I did not connect well with the story, so my worry is I like the thrill of shooting and running around the challenge room. Am I going to connect with this story of the traveler looking for old memories, trying to go through time to piece it all together? It's a hard maybe. So right now, my hype level is probably sitting at a solid 7.2.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
That's a very
He's doing the
specific
100-point scale.
I love that. New scale for Mike. I love that.
Hype, master of hype. He can do whatever he wants.
Do whatever he wants.
What about you, Raj?
Yeah, I'm going to get a code. I'm going to play this, but it lives and dies on two things. One, how many games are coming out around that time that I really want to play because we don't have the release date. And two, how fast or interested, rather, Leanza is in the story. Because her and I played these games together. She's just watching it, and she loves the scares, the horror, the getting into the story. The Resident Evils, the Silent Hill 2 was a huge success for us last year. So if this game interests her and interests us enough that we want to keep on going, but if the story is kind of a dud, then I'm probably going to jump off halfway through. So it kind of lives and dies on the story.
You got to think about October, the
Chat,
fun
what about
scares, right? Where we at? We have Silent Hill F coming out this year. We have Little Nightmares 3. We know Directive 8020 got pushed, right? So it's you're kind of lining up. If you're a horror game fan, what are your options? What do you got going on? What are the new titles? And this one seems to be one of the few, or maybe big three, that's possibly coming off the top of my head.
Forgot about Little Nightmares 3. That's co-op.
Little Nightmares 3?
That's co-op,
Yeah,
dude.
that's co-op.
That's exciting.
Also a new team making that, so we'll see if they have the juice. Don't forget about that.
Chat's
maybe
popping
quarter.
off. Jamie Chappell is very hyped for it. Nitro 39 depends when it comes out right here. All Ups, I'm in so far. Of course, All Ups was excited when he found out there was a woman underneath that hood.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
heck
You know what I mean? Yeah.
A lot of talk about what
My interest
unanimous
is
means. You know what I mean? A lot of talk about
that person just started the episode.
Yeah. A lot of talk about what unanimous means. So I like that it's kind of in the ether. You know, words in the English language are meant to be changed and evolved. I think most people.
Truthiness.
Of course, if you're watching right now on YouTube, this is the boss that we fought.
Yes.
Here's this tight
This is the guy you rope-a-dope.
2-bedroom apartment that you will be running in circles with. And yeah, you'll be looking for your gas canisters to blow up and catch them on fire. You'll shoot the little orange pinpoints to do extra damage. And yeah, you're just running in circles, punching them.
This is fake news. Look how many bullets they have. There's no way. There's no way you get to this part. You have 16 bullets.
When you talk about ammo scarcity, that's the catch. Is like, now I'm at the save spots or the safe houses, and I am now trying to calculate how much ammo do I need. Should I be spending money on ammo when I probably, in a perfect world, should be spending ammo or spending money on anything and everything? But for some reason now I'm just going heavy on the pistol ammo of like, I got 7. Okay, can I get the 15 or 20? That would be good. And then you waste it all by the next room. You're like, all right, well, that was bad.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, so I had like, I forgot how many points I had or whatever. So I go to the skill tree and I'm like, oh, I could get, lower my sway ability, or I can just buy a bunch of ammo. I'm like, okay, 300 for like an ammo pack. That's pretty good. I press it, it's just one bullet. I'm like, no fucking way. I was like, no way. So yeah, they are super hard on it. Maybe they adjust it by launch. Maybe they make it a little easier, but it's like almost hardcore in the way that they're building this out, which you have to admire. I like that stuff. I'm happy that an audience like that has that stuff.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this one turns out again. Right now, the website just says this fall, so we will see when Cronos, the New Dawn, arrives.
Gamescom's coming up.
It is. I bet that's probably exactly when you'll get it.
Yeah, that was going to be my thought. It's like Gamescom. I bet you'll get something by then.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Cool. Well, gentlemen, thank you for not only fielding this preview for us, but more importantly, trying to set the league right in the fantasy. I'm sorry, Barrett's standing in the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you respond to my text? No.
He's standing in the way.
Blocked me.
And Roger also owes me a ride on the BART. I didn't want to bring it up, but Roger
But you did bring it up.
Roger didn't make it to the BART, and I'm not happy with it.
You were supposed to BART together.
We were going to take the BART together. We were going to make a fun vlog. Mike's first time on the BART. We were going to have this great experience. And then Roger wakes up too late and goes, I guess we're driving, Slappy. So he owes me a ride on the BART.
I woke up too late. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
Glad he took the job
Mike.
seriously.
And we went video game shopping, too.
We did.
Oh, did you go to
Experience
Share?
Yeah, I was going to
When
say.
you walk into a game store, Gary, not to extend this show too much longer, what aisle do you usually
I walk
go
in, I
to
go,
first?
I'm here.
It's me!
What aisle do I go to?
Yeah, like I always have gravitated towards original Xbox 360, PS2, and then you kind of go from there. What do you usually gravitate towards?
I mean, if I walk in, I'm usually I feel be pulled to N64.
Oh,
I
interesting.
want to go look for wrestling games just to
cool.
pick up
Well,
a
you
No
coulda
Mercy
had-
box.
Yeah.
What do you
Did
mean?
you have an
Oh, I had
N64?
a
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
gotcha. I thought you didn't have the one.
Yeah, no, then if I'm feeling like, do you have a Sega Master System? Do I need to look for Ghostbusters again? That kind of thing. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
like
That's
that.
cool.
I went up to them and I was like, do you have any Splinter Cell games? And they said, someone just came in with 5 Splinter Cell games.
Yes.
And then they put it around the counter and I was like, I'm going to buy all of
It
those.
was so
Wow.
fun. Roger grabbed a couple, then put them down, and he's like, no.
'Cause they only
Today's
had
not the
one. They
day.
only had
And I was like,
double
Roger,
agent.
today's the day. Swipe the card. And the next thing you know, he walks out with a stick. And it was like,
It
that's
was
the right
sick.
call,
It
Roger.
was
how much they cost?
It was like $40 for like 5 of them. It was
Oh,
like
awesome.
not bad at all.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
in great shape. They had the
Yeah, very
manuals and
cool.
everything. So shout out to Experience Share over in Alameda. Go check them out.
Roger has a game he wants to collect, Greg. I don't have that. I need a game.
He has nothing.
You know what I mean? Like, what's the franchise you would collect, put up on the shelf in a
Ghostbusters.
cool way? And like, see, you got that. I don't got that. You know
What about Halo? Isn't that your thing?
Yeah.
There's only a couple of them.
There's like a lot of
There's a
Halo
lot.
games.
There's not a lot of good ones, but there's a lot of them. Like, we
Immediately
digress.
the Halo in the chat.
If you didn't know, everybody, this has been the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Each and every weekday, we run you through the biggest video game topics you need to know about, whether they be reviews, previews, or just things we need to talk about. If you like that, pick up a Kind of Funny membership, of course. Patreon.com/kindoffunny, YouTube.com/kindoffunnygames, Apple or Spotify to get all of our shows ad-free, get your daily dose of me, and get great karma for supporting a small independent business. Of course, we are all about live talk shows here on Kind of Funny, meaning you already got Games Daily, you got your Gamescast. Now it's time for the Kind of Funny podcast. Then it's going to be Mike streaming and answering all your burning questions.
Oh.
But
Ask
not
me
giving away whatever topic he has for a future Kind of Funny
I have a
podcast.
special topic that I'd like to talk about, yeah.
That's what we do here all the time. Twitch, YouTube, podcast services. Until next time, though, no. It's been our pleasure to serve you.